Alright, so today obviously we worked on the HIRM God Gundam, a recent release provided to me by JoJo Hobby and stuff, so big thanks to Shin and everyone at JoJo for doing that. The HIRM God Gundam is a kit that I've really been looking forward to quite a bit ever since we got those early production images. It's been a long time since we've gotten anything from G Gundam. I think the last kit may have been the high grade G Gundam perhaps, or Master, something like that. And much longer since we've gotten anything in the 1/100 form factor that's been worth discussing. The last real notable one probably being the Master Grade God Gundam. Obviously, like most kits in the HIRM line, it's very, very stylized, very, very shiny and nice. This is the sort of kit that, like, if you don't paint, like, this would be a really, really good choice, because it comes with this awesome gloss-injected plastic that just, it bounces light everywhere, it looks really nice. You know, everything comes basically pre-painted. You've, like, the eyes are already painted out of the box. You get some really nice looking bright effect parts and things like that. It's generally just like a really pretty looking kit. And I could really recommend it for someone that likes the G Gundam series. In terms of issues that I had with the kit, and I'm going to be honest, most of these things are kind of nitpicky, because it was a really good build. There were a few instances of where parts were attached with an undergate. They were just in inconvenient spots. There were nubs and other things around them that you didn't want to sand, but of course were in the way. There were some thick connection points, nubs, on these wings, which seems kind of weird because at points the nubs were just as wide as the wings themselves. So you want to definitely be a little careful when you're snipping those out. There are little inserts here that fit into the wings, and two of these are so loose that they need to be glued, and the other two are so tight that it was a real struggle to get them out. So again, kind of a nitpick, but it's there. I'm going to point it out. Generally, nub placement was pretty good. You don't have to sacrifice too much in the way of this glossy finish. I, of course, am going to paint mine, so it wasn't as big of a concern for me as maybe for some other people, but I'm going to point it out there anyways. Playing with the frame, when I first picked it out, grabbed it out of the box, I mean, there is a whole lot of articulation in this kit, which of course is really good because it's a melee kit. You're going to want to put it into some crazy kung fu poses, and it can definitely do all of that. The articulation on it's definitely a lot better than the old Master Grade, and they've even added new things in, like a bit of pivot on the wings here to get them in and out of the way and that sort of thing. Not much in the way of diecast for this model. I believe there are really only two parts here on the bottoms of the feet, as well as maybe one in the chest, but here, this little green thing. So if like you buy these kits because you really like the fact that they have a lot of diecast in them, this one doesn't really, but I don't personally find that to be much of a big issue. The only other thing I really want to point out is that there are some relatively delicate parts in this kit. Both halves of these shoulders, for example, you can see here that there are these really thin red pylons that connect the upper and bottom parts. Those are the only three connecting points between the top and bottom part. So if you snap them, I mean, there you go, there's your connection. There's not a lot of material there, so just be careful when you're building yours. But that's really it. It's a fine looking model. You may have noticed when I'm moving this around, this one's a little loose here. I don't want you to think this is a negative of the kit. I actually overbent the little connector point in there that I'll have to fix later. It's not that the kit's loose, it's just I kind of broke something mildly. This one is much more rigid compared to this one over here, which is much floppier. Gunpla, I'm actually going to leave the rainbow insert, which is definitely one of the nicest effect parts I've ever seen on a Gundam. I'm going to save this. This is going to be part of the photo shoot, so I'm not going to attach it before then. It's going to be a surprise for me too when the time comes. But yeah, you get this really awesome rainbow insert here, and you can see all the different colors it reflects. It's really awesome. I love this. It's a great looking piece. And as you move it around, you can see it transition through all of the colors. This is pretty cool. And also, yeah, the beam effect parts, really nice. Really, really nice. Kind of have that general katana vibe to them, especially with the very iconic point up here. And then you have all of this nice texture and detail down here. It just really looks like the beam saber is exploding out of the handle. Really, really nice. This kit also comes with rubber for the feet. You get 2 full sets actually, so you have enough for 4 feet. Obviously he has 2, but it's there for you. I'll put this on once the kit's painted. Doesn't make a whole lot of sense to put it on before then. You get a little gem inside of the chest, and it may not be entirely visible, but the little King of Hearts logo is clearly on this dome, and it looks really, really nice. There is also a sticker sheet. No water slides with this. These are just your standard stickers, although these seem to be very high gloss. A lot of the things you kind of expect with the King of Hearts logos, and then, you know, the model number and the pilot's name, his title, the King of Hearts, Neo Japan, and then all these little circuit-y details. I don't really know. Would be really nice if they started giving you water slides for this kit, but I guess we'll take what we can get. So that's kind of the long and short of it for this kit. Does anyone have any questions about it before we wrap the stream up? I'll show off some little gimmicks, I guess. His shoulders come up, kind of like the Shining Gundam. And he's got little things. I don't really know what they are, but he's got little painted green orbs inside of his shoulders. It's kind of cool. What does the box have to say about those? It doesn't really say what they are, but they're there, so that's cool. The little fingers on the gloves, or the armor overlays, are articulated, including the thumb, so that's kind of neat. You definitely can move those around a little bit. Same thing with the yellow claw parts. They're individually articulated as well. On ball joints, all 3 or 5 of these parts are on ball joints, so you can kind of move them around whichever way you want, which is a nice little thing. We can open up the fins on the back. And you can open up the little panels on the back of the legs to reveal the thrusters down there. Of course, the chest opens where that little King of Hearts dome that I showed you earlier will eventually go, but it won't go there until we're actually done painting him. But there you go. He's a neat little guy. Very cool sort of kit, and I really appreciate that Shin from JoJo Hobby and Stuff sent it out to me to build on stream for you guys. This kit will be up on my YouTube channel probably a little bit later in the week, condensed down, sped up quite a bit, so it doesn't take 5 hours to watch, which should be pretty cool. If you haven't already, go over to JoJo Hobby and Stuff, show them some love, and you can use coupon code GoodGunpla to save yourself 15% off. They bumped it up through the end of the year for you guys, so if you want some kits at a really good discount, they're the ones to look at. They're good people. They take care of us. Alright, does anyone have any questions about the HIRM God Gundam before we wrap up the stream? Because otherwise we are all done. It was a really fun build. How's the surface detail with panel lines and stuff? It's very good. I'm going to turn down my light source a little bit. So hopefully you can see a little bit more of the contrast. It is pretty good. You can see there's lots of little things here. It's just, of course, it's all white, so it's not super visible. but the legs have tons, the shoulders have quite a bit, a lot in the arms. You have some nice little things going on everywhere pretty much, including on the wings? I guess you call them wings. So yeah, good overall level of surface detail. Mostly panel lines, few little dashes. Nothing, I guess I would say, out of the ordinary in terms of surface detail. Some good layering with the detail, though, of course, where you have some of the dark inner material poking through in the shoulders, and you have something kind of similar down here on the skirts, where you can slide that open, and you can see the kind of dark material inside. Oops. So yeah, surface detail's pretty good, I'd say. Yeah, the verniers on the backpack can move up and down. And then of course the core fighter can be pulled out. So there you go. So yeah, that's the God Gundam, the HIRM God Gundam. Very fun build. Took me about 5 hours. I was rushing a little bit towards the end there, but you know, definitely a good way to spend a day. Again, if you're like a non-painter, I'd say this is a really good kit for you, just because it looks pretty spectacular out of the box without really having to put too much effort in. If you are going to paint, I would recommend that you don't assemble it before you paint. Some of the connections on this kit are a little tight. I had to pull some stuff apart earlier and like kind of cut down nubs and widen holes and things like that, just so I don't break anything later on. Does the core lander cockpit open? No, actually it doesn't. There isn't a super ton of detail inside of the core lander's cockpit either. You don't get any pilot figures, so there's really not a whole lot of reason to display the core lander out, to be perfectly honest. I mean, if you like the core lander concept, that's great. I've never really cared for it myself. It just seems at odds with the design of the mobile suit as a whole, but you know, it's there. They've captured some of the detail there, but it doesn't personally do anything for me, so I haven't really put much thought into it. But there you are. Alright folks, we're going to wrap up the stream then. Thank you very much for coming out and spending the day with me. Hopefully you enjoyed our time together with the HIRM God Gundam. I know I did. It was a really fun kit. And definitely a big thank you to JoJo Hobby and Stuff, and Shin in particular, for sending this guy out to me and expediting it so that we could have it and build it for you guys today. So if you haven't already, go over to JoJo Hobby and Stuff and show him some love. Coupon code GoodGunpla will save you 15% off through the end of the year. And hey, it's a good time to pick up Gunpla. It's starting to get cold outside, weather's starting to get crappy. What better way to spend your weekends than inside building some plastic bottles? Alright guys, have a great weekend. I'll see you, not on Tuesday, but probably next Tuesday. So, till then, take care, and I'll see you around. Later!